May 27th meeting of the Glenville Town Board, please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, on this week of Memorial Day, we pray for those who courageously laid down their lives for the cause of freedom. Bless the families of our fallen troops and fill their hearts and their lives with your strength and peace. We thank you for blessing our nation with these brave men and women who have given their lives so that we and others around the globe can live in freedom. Also, let us remember those who serve today and ask that you provide the protection necessary to return them safely to their homes. In union with people of goodwill of every nation, embolden us to answer the call to work for peace and justice, and thus seek an end to violence and conflict around the world. As it is written in the book of Isaiah, we long for the day when people will say, or when people will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Martin?
Here.
Councilman Pitlabani?
Here.
Councilman Blunt?
Here.
Councilwoman Worzbowski? Here. And Supervisor Hess?
Here. We'd like to welcome Sandy today, filling in for our town clerk, Linda. This will be easy. I already have some changes to the agenda, so if you have an agenda and you're following along, please know that we'll be doing an add-on resolution under Resolution 9. They'll be known as add-on Resolution 1. Normally we take those up at the end, but we'll be doing that under item 9. That's a secret determination that needs to be done in that particular order. We're also on the back pulling Resolution 13 for this evening, and we're bringing it up again at a future date, but is not ready for consideration tonight. So with that, we've got add-on number 2. Where do we see that? Add-on number 2. So this will come at the end, so we'll do it before new business. So after number 22, we'll do add-on number 2. Which has to do with hooking up resident in water district number 11. So add on number 2, we'll go under number 22. Got all that, Sandy?
Yes.
All right.
Just us.
You're doing better than me then. So we'll go on next to the town council reports, and we'll start on my left with Councilman Martin. Councilman Blunt.
I have no.
Councilwoman Worzbowski.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, we are in the first week of our bulk item pickup for the town. If you have not put your items out, now is the time. You can see the www.townglenville.org for a list of approved items. You can also check to see where they have been. Unfortunately, we do not know where they're going to be. It depends on how much stuff people put out there. That's why we're going to get that schedule. But you can see where they have been. They will be making one pass through your neighborhood. So should you miss it, until next year. That's all I have.
Can we just remind people no TVs, because there's still a lot of TVs.
No TVs, unless you put a sign on that says it works and it's free, and then maybe someone will take it for you.
Thank you. Councilman Martin.
Yeah, just briefly, the comprehensive plan continues to advance. The Residents Advisory Committee had their second meeting, and also the various committees of the town are getting their various assigned chapters, going through the public comments that have been received, and we're anticipating feedback from those committees in terms of draft initiatives for the plan by the end of July.
The moratorium, Councilman, on the adult business on Freeman's Bridge Road last 6 months, do you believe that we would have the comprehensive plan enacted within 6 months, or is that something we're going to have to keep an eye on?
I think we need to keep an eye on it. I think, yeah, that's a little optimistic.
Okay. We can extend that? Yeah. Councilman Pittman?
No report.
Excellent. Moving on to item number 5, the public hearing. I'll open the public hearing. Anyone who wishes to be heard on this matter will come to the podium and address the board. I'll read a quick description of the public hearing so everyone knows what we're having a public hearing on. And that is item number 5, the public hearing at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter is going to be reached to consider a local law that introduces various amendments to Chapter 270, the zoning of the Code of the Town of Glenville, including the addition of beauty salons, barber shops, and contractors' offices to the list of uses allowed by site plan review with the professional residential zoning district, as well as modifications to the definition of personal services and retail business so as to disallow pawn shops in commercially zoned areas of Glenville. So I'll open that public hearing. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter? Anyone wish to be heard at all? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Public hearing is now closed. We will now move to privilege of the floor. And again, same thing, we'll open privilege of the floor. Anyone wish to be heard on privilege of the floor? Any matter before the town you'd like to be heard on? Going once, going twice, hearing none. The floor is now closed. We'll move on to supervisor's comments to the board, and actually very short 2 nights. I'll be very brief. 1 minute, it's one item, just one item. One item, unless you guys have questions. Just want to update everybody, I know the town board knows this, but update for our residents that we filed our efficiency plan yesterday, and we certified a savings of nearly $1 million for our taxpayers over the next 3 years, which I think I'm very proud of. I think you guys should be very proud of. We worked hard on this efficiency plan. Again, it was filed and certified yesterday with the New York State Division of Budget as required by law. The plan was due June 1st, and it was filed 4 business days early. The plan needed to meet a target savings of $85,247 annually for the next 3 years. I was able to certify, I'm proud to say, $309,200 in annual savings that resulted from town projects that were either an efficiency or a shared service initiative in the past 2 years. That's a savings, as I said, to taxpayers of $927,000 through 2017, which is $672,000 more than what we're required to do by law. I think that demonstrates that this town board took this exercise very seriously and looked to maximize the efficiencies as much as possible. We didn't just do the bare minimum and go to where we needed to be for the state tax freeze. The savings was achieved through a variety of cost-saving methods, which include the following. Number 1, reorganized the tax receiver's office that produced $46,000 in annual savings. Number 2, reorganized the supervisor's office that produced $19,000 in annual savings. Number 3, reorganized 2 maintenance helper positions that produced $37,000 in annual savings. Number 4, reorganized the DCO officer position, that's the dog control officer position, that produced $56,000 in annual savings. And lastly, participated in the Unified Dispatch Shared Services Agreement with the county that produced $150,000 in annual savings according to the county's estimates. If you remember, that was a long, hard-fought negotiation when we entered the UCC, and I think a lot of what Glenville brought to the table in that negotiation, our towns are benefiting, all towns are benefiting from today, which includes the 10% reduction in costs that the town brought forward during that negotiation. That 10% is a lot of that $150,000. So what does this mean to the town taxpayer? As long as the town remains under the tax cap for each of the next 3 years, and the town has always remained under the tax cap since it was implemented, the town residents will receive the town's portion of any levy increase in that respective year. So as an example, the town's levy increase last year was 2.87%, which to the average town resident was $18 a year in increased taxes. Under the efficiency plan we just filed, the resident would receive that check for that $18 back from the state of New York, which effectively freezes the levy increase for that year. As you know from previous meetings and discussions and what we've heard from Jason, our tax cap this year It's somewhere around 0.9% because inflation is well below the 2%. So that translates to about $80,000 in additional spending going into 2016. And I know already on top of our heads, we already are well beyond that in increased costs, particularly health insurance and contractual obligations. So we have some sharpening the pencil for 2016. I think we're going to start the budget a little early this year. We usually start in August, but we're going to start a little early to see if we can get ahead of some of this and make sure we get under the cap this year, which would be a challenge. So that's all I have, really. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Thank you. So moving on to the next item on the agenda, item 8, the resolution to make a determination of significance relative to seeker regarding the zoning map amendment. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is a resolution that's going to authorize a negative declaration in regards to rezoning of a vacant .85 acre parcel on the southwest corner of Route 50 and Oak Hill Drive from professional residential to community business, so as to allow for construction of a 10,000 square foot mixed-use office building. This resolution and the one that follows is in regards to that action.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote. You have to call off the names and ask me. Yes, Councilman.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pitlabani?
Yes.
Councilman Lulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Henson?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, Resolution 9, enact upon zoning map amendment application for Victor Sosnowski to change a zone, the parcel just mentioned. Do I have a motion?
I'll move
Do
it.
I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is the resolution that now authorizes the actual zoning modification that I just described for the .85 acre parcel from professional residential to community business. This is something we've been working on for some time now. It's been given a lot of consideration. We also had a traffic report prepared in regards to some questions about traffic at this particular corner. With all that due diligence, this resolution now is authorizing that zoning map amendment.
Thank you. I'd like to just add to that, not just the required traffic study, I think added a few months to the process, but we have worked in consultation. I know Kevin and I have been out to DOT talking about this specific project and intersection, so we have worked with DOT, and we've done significant outreach to the residents on this as well. So as you said, Councilman Martin, a lot of work and thought has gone into this resolution, and I want to thank the board for all the work on it. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I just want to add to that too, that, you know, we recognize Route 50 is a growing long-term problem, and we're taking steps both in the comprehensive plan and, as you said, work with DOT to address that. And so it's not that we're turning a blind eye to it, it's just that this incremental change did not appear to require any further review or adverse impact, so that's why it's not here tonight.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pitlabani?
Yes.
Councilman Lulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Henson?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is add-on resolution 1, which is a resolution to make a determination of significance pursuant to seeker regarding local law number 2. Do I have a motion?
I'll move
Do
it.
I have a second?
I'll second it.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is once again, a negative declaration, this time on environmental assessment of a change to zoning text. And it's really bundling several changes to that text into one review, one assessment. I'll read briefly the accounting of that. The zoning amendments include the addition of beauty salons, barber shops, and contractors' offices to the list of uses allowed by site plan review within the professional residential zoning district, as well as modifications to the definitions of both personal service and retail business so as to disallow pawn shops, in commercially zoned areas of Glenville.
Any questions or comments on that resolution?
I have one. Jim, does the county have to sign off on this, or are we all?
These do go to the county for review. To
Just
the,
the seeker, right?
yep, and it's recommendation only, and I think we got back a determination of non-significance from the county.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipilani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Abstain.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, Resolution 10, adopting local law number 2, 2015, to amend chapter 270 of the zoning of the town of Glenville regarding the addition of certain uses in one zone and disallowing others in another zone. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is the resolution that actually authorizes the change to the text that we just prepared or undertook the negative declaration for. Again, it's changes to uses allowed in professional residential zoning district as well as the definitions of personal service and retail business.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipilani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Abstain.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, Resolution 11, authorizing the chief of police to enter into a lease. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Supervisor, the Town of Glenville Police Department's lease on their photocopier is up, and they're looking to enter into a lease for a new photocopier. The police chief recommends that the base photocopier be augmented with additional equipment, including an interfinisher, 3 500 sheet trays, and a supply kit, for an additional cost of $1,679 to meet the needs of the police department. The original photocopier is under state bid for $4,817.50. The monthly cost of the lease, including the additional equipment, is $139.59 for the term of 48 months. The previous photocopier was leased at $153.28 a month, so even with the additional equipment, it's less than what the previous one was. So we're looking to authorize the chief of police to enter into a 48-month lease agreement with Metrolin Business Machines, or its fiscal agent, for a Sharp MX M464N with additional equipment as detailed above, for a total cost of $6,775.32.
Excellent. And of course, my favorite question is, it's in the 2015 budget. Yes. The line, the appropriation line is listed, yes. I'm just pointing out for the record that it's in the budget. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipilani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 12, approving the application, authorizing the town clerk to issue permit for a parade. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, Burnt Hills Balsam Lake Business Professional Association will hold its 14th annual Flag Day Parade on June 11th from approximately 6:40 p.m. to 8:30. The parade route will be generally along Route 50 and Kingsley Road with a portion of the town of Glenville and another portion of the town of Balsam. The BHBL BPA has submitted a map of the parade route and event brochure, event application, insurance certificate, and other required documents to the New York State Department of Transportation. DOT has granted the BBA a special use permit for the parade, but requires the Burnt Hills Balsam Lake BBPA to comply with all municipal ordinances. The code of the town of Glenville requires a permit for outdoor public expeditions and entertainments, and the amount therefore is established by chapter 139 and the sum of 150. The code of the town of Glenville states no fee shall be charged, but the applicant shall be a religious or charitable organization, so the $150 fee will be waived.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pipilani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. As I said, resolution 13 is quote for the evening. We'll go to Resolution 14, appointing 2 members to the Efficiency and Government Committee. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, the Town Efficiency and Government Committee, EIG, solicited a few members, new members, and received resumes from 2 town residents. The EIG recommends that these 2 individuals be appointed to the EIG committee. Therefore, be resolved, if I get this wrong, I apologize. You got this, 2 Maria Court, Glenville, and Michelle Draves, 38 Country Fair Lane, Glenville, are hereby appointed to the EIG committee for a term commencing May 27, 2015, and ending December 31st, 2015.
Excellent, any questions or comments?
Mr. Supervisor, I would just like to point out that the one appointee, Michelle Draves, was one of our applicants for the vacant seat for the town board. And when we interviewed her, we were, impressed by her interest, and we wanted to, she was one of the people that we had noted could possibly be a good contributor to the EIG committee, even though she did not successfully get the appointment to the town board seat. So just wanted to point that out and thank her very much for her service.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Titlerbani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 15, authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to purchase 1 vehicle. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this motion is in connection with a 2004 Ford F-350 that is in the Public Works vehicle fleet at this time. This vehicle has required increasing maintenance and repair costs and also provides subpar fuel efficiency. So Commissioner of Public Works is looking to request replacement. He has developed an RFP, request for proposals intended to yield a suitable replacement option for this vehicle. This resolution will also authorize the Commissioner of Public Works to utilize state contract pricing, and the amount that would be provided for this new vehicle would be not to exceed $22,000. The expense for this vehicle would be charged to several different accounts within the 2015 budget. And the total would not exceed $22,000.
What becomes of the 2004 F-350?
I believe, it's not included in this resolution, but I'm presuming it would be declared surplus.
It does still have some use, so we would use it for special projects, specifically drainage projects, probably. It would be used as much less than it is now.
And it's budgeted.
Yep, it's budgeted.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Titlerbani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 16, authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to hire 1 additional seasonal laborer. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this resolution will authorize the Commissioner of Public Works to hire 1 additional seasonal laborer in the Water and Sewer Department. The funding for the additional seasonal laborer is provided for the 2015 budget. This resolution will provide for 1 additional seasonal employee to be appointed to the position of water and sewer laborer at a budgeted rate of $8.75 per hour with no benefits for a period not to exceed May 28, 2015 through October 4th, 2015.
Excellent. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Titlerbani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 17, authorizing the supervisor to execute an agreement to join the Empire State Municipal Purchasing Group with any recorded expenses not to exceed $1,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. As I mentioned, this resolution is at the recommendation of the town comptroller to enter into an agreement with the Empire State Municipal Purchasing Group. This is a cooperative that is comprised of towns, villages, counties, and other public agencies for the purpose of obtaining benefits and pricing efficiencies in a statewide bid notification and electronic procurement system. This essentially would allow us to access an online bid library containing previous bid materials, requesting proposals, let by other municipalities, thereby providing an opportunity to mirror our best practices utilized elsewhere. There is a $1,000 cost estimate to participate in this, but there's no other costs otherwise. That cost is to cover a one-time postage and notification fee to inform vendors that the town is now participating. There is no other annual fees for participation. The $1,000 is charged to the account listed in the resolution, which is the central printing, mailing, and advertising line in the 2015 budget. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Supervisor, I do have a question. I think this was discussed at the last work session, and unfortunately, I had to leave a little bit early. My one question had been, would this qualify us for intermunicipal agreements or cooperation? No?
I don't believe so.
Discuss it with the attorney, but it would seem to go down that road, yeah.
But you would have to somehow discern the difference between this and what you would have got.
We would have to project it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I was just curious if it would.
So if we're able to capture that.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 18, amending resolution 73 of 2015 to increase the maximum authorized purchase price of a new highway vehicle. Do I have a motion?
So,
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, as you stated, this is an amendment to a previous resolution from this year where we were looking to replace a 1997 Ford F-350 in the public works vehicle fleet. When we submitted RFPs or requests for proposals, and also looked at Grayson Meadow New York State contract, we did not find a suitable replacement option with the maximum allowed cost of $25,000, which was in the previous resolution. So we're still in need of a vehicle. This resolution would then increase the maximum amount of the authorized purchase price of the new vehicle to $28,000, provided that the said vehicle meets the requirements stated in the RFP, with the expense for said vehicle still charged to the equipment line as included in the 2015 adopted budget. The 1997 Ford F-350 would, again, still be declared surplus property and be eligible for disposal.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blulant?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 19, authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to purchase one new trailer at a total cost of $5,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this resolution is in connection with a trailer that needs replacing. We have been utilizing a 2001 Triple J trailer with a 7,000 pound towing capacity for all around town equipment. It's still useful for smaller jobs, but this trailer does not allow the town to maximize efficiencies in the performance of town duties. Commissioner of Public Works is recommending the purchase of a new trailer with improved towing capacity to allow for safe and reliable transport of more town equipment per vehicle trip, thus saving staff time and fuel. The Commissioner of Public Works would be authorized under this resolution to purchase a new trailer with a towing capacity of at least 9,000 pounds, provided the total cost does not exceed $5,000. The expense for this equipment would be charged to budget line in the 2015 adopted budget.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please report the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Pittavani?
Yes.
Councilman Blunt?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, resolution 20, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an energy conservation and management agreement with National Grid for the installation of lights in the town center at a cost not to exceed $500,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. As you all know, we have an important project we were moving forward over the many years, and we're at the finish line, and we're about to install our new lights here in town center, energy efficient lights, and beautified lights, nice lighting. You've all seen the designs. And the current highway lighting fixtures and electricity have been provided by Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation, also known as National Grid. It's been determined by the time the National Grid is a regulated utility involved in the sale of that electricity, is familiar with street lighting, etc., and from time to time offers incentives and rebates for energy savings. They are uniquely qualified, in our view, as a single source for the provision of energy conservation and management services. And so this resolution will authorize me to enter into an agreement with them to essentially oversee and help with the installation of our lighting fixtures in the town center. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Capelani?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Tensley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 21, authorizing monthly department reports. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, the monthly department reports for April 2015 is received, building department, economic development, highway, justice, police department, receiver of taxes, section 8, town clerk office, water and sewer. Hereby approved for payment and order placed in file.
Hearing no changes or amendments, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Capelani?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Tensley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is approving the town board minutes. Do I have a motion?
So
Do I
moved.
have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this is resolved to approve the minutes for the regular meeting, May 6, 2015.
Seeing no changes or amendments, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Capelani?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Tensley?
Yes,
I am abstaining because I was not here. I was absent.
so he has to be marked. I go through pretty quickly.
That's good.
Gotta get that in.
Gotta keep up with you. Okay, we're almost done. We're on to resolution
Doing a
add-on
great job, Steve.
number 2. This is the add-on. This is the add-on that was just presented to me. So this is requesting an extension for residents water district 11. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, this resolution is to set a public hearing for request of extension to water district extension number 3 to water district number 11 to include a property in conjunction with extension 5 water district number 11, each of which extensions border the subject property. This is in connection with a property located at 109 Snake Hill Road. This would be setting the public hearing on June 17th, 2015 at 7 o'clock p.m. here at Glenville Municipal Center at 18 Glenwood Road, Glenville, New York.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Capelani?
Yes.
Councilman Blount?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
And Supervisor Tensley?
Yes, resolution passes.
Thank you.
We'll go to new business, which is start on my left with Councilman Dumont.
No new business.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski.
No new business.
Councilman Martin.
Nothing new.
Councilman Capelani.
You always start on the other end. No new business.
Well, I'm going to start on this end. Just
Now you've done it.
real quick to remind everybody that we do go to summer hours next month, so we only go to one board meeting. We'll have a June 10th work session, June 17th board meeting, and then it'll follow for July and August, and be back after Labor Day to a 2-board meeting week. So mark your calendars accordingly. Seeing no other business, take a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So we got meetings at 10 minutes.